Tom Mute Maniac here, and this is going to be my best attempt at a There Are No Orcs Commander tier list. This is sort of unfair to do because some of these commanders are good in only specific conditions, but some of these commanders are good all the time. So these rankings are based on my opinion. I spent the last 2 weeks doing a There Are No Orcs kind of playthrough. Made a bunch of videos. I'm about a little over 100 hours in. Around 100-hour mark, I consider myself not an expert in the game, but close enough. Close enough to be able to give my honest feedback on the tier list. And so I'm going to go commander by commander, talk about them for a little bit. I might pull up their buildings and give you my honest opinion on who the S tier heroes, the commanders are. I might call them heroes by accident because I'm dumb, so ignore me. And so I'm going to judge them based on their skill, their trait, and their unique buildings. Now, and how those things interact with their faction, because some of these buildings are great because of the faction that they're in. And we're kind of gonna go in order in which they kind of appear, so kind of bear with me. I'm gonna butcher their names, so also bear with me. And yeah, so from the absolute top, we have Perlin. Perlin is everyone's first hero. She gets you through the first couple of levels. I'm gonna put her at a healthy C tier. Perlin has a meteor strike that does 10 damage, and there's a lot of buildings that help you get this meteor to be bigger and bigger and bigger. The more gold you have, the higher the skill cooldown is. So you can eventually get meteor down to, like, I think, what's 500% cooldown at 220 seconds. I guess it's like 1/5 of 120, which is roughly 25 seconds-ish per charge. So you could just keep dropping meteors from the sky. She's good. It just takes a long time to get there. In the meantime, while you're waiting for production and tuning crystal to go, you pretty much just have the base kit to keep you alive. The later chaoses, the further along you go in chaos, the more HP the enemy unit has, which will ultimately make her weaker and weaker and weaker, which means you're going to have to wait longer for the meteor skill to be good. I have to compare her to every other commander. And in so doing, I put her at C. I hardly ever, when I'm playing and I'm looking at the chaos whims, these are whims here, I never go, oh, Perlin is the great character to help deal with that random affliction that I have to play through. So for that reason, I put her at C. I think most people would probably agree with me there. So we're going to move on to Gustav. Gustav is a boss, dude. He's all about the shmoney. There are a couple different chaos that you can actually win. If you get to fit, I think it's called investment. There's a whim in particular that he's meant for, where you win if you have 50,000 gold. So it's obvious. His bodyguard agency is hysterical. His treasure vault is the best gold generating building in the entire game. Financial Nova is also incredibly powerful. Now, humans themselves don't have a good way to make gold, so he is the exception. Brokerage is also an extremely powerful building. His buildings are so brokerage lets take the percentage of the building to the right and grant to the building to the left, and brokerage is stack. So if you have a building on the far right that has 200%, you can then grant that to the building to the left, and then do another brokerage and grants that total to the building to the left, and then you could throw a wizard's tower at the end of it and give the wizard's tower plus 800%. And you're just shooting wizards out your front like crazy. he gets money early also, which is another huge thing. His venture capital is the cooldown really sucks, but when it does hit, it hits for a lot of gold, and solves a lot of problems. And his buildings aren't that expensive for what you get. So bodyguards are good early, 100%. I put him like B A tier. I'm probably gonna put him in A tier. He is just the best economy for the humans, and I have to like humans are the weakest faction, in terms of military power, but he has a solution for that with his end game. His win condition is a solid win condition. Unlike some of the other commanders where the win condition is grind military until you win. So having a solid win condition puts him in the A tier, in my opinion. The next one is the king whose name I cannot pronounce. Von Trollpatschheim IV, I think is how we say this guy's name. This guy is also quite good. I put him in a solid B tier for humans. He gets relics, and so that is good on it. That is good for him. It takes a while to get there. What holds him back for me is the council halls. The fact that he is tier 5 right out the gate is a blessing and a curse. You can't afford half the crap that's there, and you kind of have to hold back on getting your relics until your council hall has claimed enough property. So you sort of force yourself to, you have to stall your own gameplay to work around the benefits. Now, you're able to build a griffin building right away, and since you have so much property that's vacant, if you do it correctly, your griffins and your wizards can be popping like crazy. So that's all really strong. The Royal Barracks is super strong for a tier 3 building because it's a scalable thing. It's not the strongest HP in the game, but for humans, it's not bad. I've lost with him a couple of times. Sometimes the relics whiff. It's a lot to manage. And like whereas this is you're just making money the whole time, this guy you have to manage a little bit more, and you have to have a little bit more know-how to switch from council halls to other buildings that will help you get the plots on there. God, I hope my microphone's working. I can't tell. We're going to keep on going. I'm going to assume that it is, and if not, I'm going to cry because this is a long video. All right, so going into the next one, it's Morrison. For me, Mr. Morrison is probably C tier below Perlin. Like, he has a lot going for him. His bone amalgamation is really good. What hurts me about Morrison is that skeletal shooters cannot hit air units. So you essentially are forced in this position where you need to destroy these hands to make skeletons, and you want lots of skeleton shooters and warriors so that you can make these really big champions. But you put yourself at a disadvantage because you can't hit air units with them. So it's like the shooters are worse than archers in that way. They also skeletal shooters do not receive any archer bonus. Like relics that give you more projectiles, or any other archer relics do not affect skeletal shooters. So it makes it accidentally bad. The other buildings are just not that strong. Like, for each adjacent building, consume 5 skeletons to produce initial production. It's like, yes, I mean, this is a decent end game if you're making like crap tons of skeletons, but I find that I've tried to do this end game. I was better off just making giant bone amalgamations and just winning by stomping with military. So the win condition is stomp with military. Necrospire does -10 for all buildings. Why would you do this to this guy? He just has so many drawbacks, and he's so awkward that he's low C tier. I wouldn't put him in D tier because he still is a playable hero. He's not completely, and he's still fun to play. You're right. So that's where I'm at with him. Going on to Blathnade. I think. I don't know how to say this. It's okay, though. I have an American C+, 1.9 grade point average education. So we're going to lean on that real hard. We're going to read the best we can, okay? She is interesting. Her win condition is extremely strong. The problem with her is you're playing a very different game than anybody else in every other commander. I'm going to put her high C tier. Now, she is probably an A tier hero. But I just don't find her fun, okay? So that is why I put her at C tier. She has a very solid win condition. So you're basically balancing living saplings and some loose military. And you have to have dream blossoms all over the place in order for you to claim all these empty tiles. She gets better when you have a piece of equipment that gives you free starting tiles, because her trait says newly obtained empty tiles appear in random locations. So that means that if you're wearing a piece of equipment that gives you more starting tiles, they're going to be in the middle of nowhere, which means Dream Blossom and Lurking Thorns are going to work a lot better because they get a bonus production if they're near things that they don't own. Without that equipment, you're never going to get max production on these, so it's kind of a pain in the ass. Her ability, Wrath of Nature, is good. It makes a bunch of those treants that go walk forward. They can't hit air, so you're dealing with not being able to hit air. You have to build some archers to support her. Her win con is really good, though, and her win con can happen at tier 4. It's make tons of compost heaps and Lurking Thorns and win. What will likely happen is you're going to be constantly losing to military. So you're going to have to use Wrath of Nature to push back military, and then Lurking Thorns and Compost Heap. And her biggest issue is that the more HP the enemy has, like, her win con does not get sped up, but dealing with high HP enemies is ramping, but you don't ramp enough to deal with that. So she certainly has she falls off at high chaos levels, for sure. However, if you get lucky with some decent relics, and you get a bunch of these compost heaps out, and you really get a strong economy with parks and stuff like that, you can get Lurking Thorns out, go crazy amount of compost heaps, and win with Lurking Thorns and just hope for the best. So I put her at this in C tier, and that's just kind of my opinion on that. Our next guy, Aljin. Okay. First couple times I played this guy, I didn't quite get it, and I didn't really like him. But the more I play, he is the strongest military human hero. Obviously, his entire thing's about this. His terrors are expensive early on, but they are really good. They make a ton of money. His samurais are good. They just have higher protection the more military you're fighting. This guy is legendary against demons with tons and tons of units. His ninjas are really, really good, and his Shiros are decent. Where he shines is it's this focused mind thing. It forces you to automatically use it, but like what can happen is you're about to lose because the opponent has massed up their military and they're like walking in on you. You can cast this 3 times and give yourself 30 seconds of your army being immortal, and you'll just walk forward and stomp them. And if you make a few monasteries, about time. So you want to cast these all at once, like cast. That gives your monasteries enough time to heal your entire army again, and you really don't lose anybody. So he's quite strong. I'm going to put him B tier, probably above the king. He's got a strong military. My problem with him is he's a slow start. You really have to spend a lot of time. Like, these terrors are very, very expensive. Farms are 100 gold. Terrors are 300 gold. So you either need to sit there and wait for terras, or you need to pivot to terras later. That's the other thing. The ninjas
They all have death touch, but you -1 for every allied unit present on the field. There are ways you can work around with this, with like the relic that makes town centers hit military buildings. You can put tons of town centers around these, and it pretty much negates that. But I wish that this wasn't here. I mean, the ninjas are good, but they're not that good. They do die. They don't outrange a lot of enemies, so it is what it is. If like one or two small changes could take him to S tier, but he's just not S tier. So that's where I'm at. Now we got Francula. Francula, again, this is one of those guys that situationally is really good. There is a specific chaos where everybody starts with lifesteal. I forget which one it is. I'm trying to find Bloodthirst. There it is. So as you get later into the chaos, Bloodthirst happens more and more. He's a great Bloodthirst commander, because if something already has lifesteal, it grants it lifesteal again, will increase its attack. So bats are good sometimes. They are okay against... It's rock, paper, scissors with bats. They die against AoE pretty hard, but early they're good. What also makes them good is his skill sucks. There's no reason to ever use it. So you just let this stack to 6, and then you have really fast bat production. His gargoyles are extremely good. Banquet Hall stacking on his trait is solid. And even his Blood Pact Fountain, you just lose 20 units to give everybody lifesteal. If everybody already has lifesteal, it just gives everybody extra attack, and you can just pound a few of these and push for a win con. He has a slow start. I'm going to put him B tier, probably below the king. He's good. He's not great. He's good in very specific conditions. He's a fun hero too. Like, I don't mind playing him. If I'm forced to play with him, or if I'm in a situation where I'm like, oh, he's a great fit for this, I don't mind playing him. His gargoyles, again, are super strong. They're melee. I wish they were ranged, but you're having a lot of flying melee heroes. It's kind of interesting. Variety is the spice of life, right? So, anyway, we're going to go into our next hero, which is Eldrian. I really like this hero. This hero is the opposite of many of the other heroes. He's really strong mid-game, and he actually gets weaker late-game in a roundabout way. So he can heal people, fully restores HP of all your units in a target circle. When one of your units dies, 20% of its max HP is transferred to a random ally unit. So his Alms House is good early game. It's dog shit late game, because it will eventually go to 0, and in late game you're making so much money that you want to sell out of these. Altar of Light, really good mid game. So you can essentially, because you start with a paladin, paladins have basically pseudo lifesteal. They heal the others if they hit something. With paladins and Altar of Light, you end up making tons of Altar of Lights. The problem with Altar of Light is there's really no easy way without relics to speed up the production speed of Altar of Light. So if Altar of Light ends up holding you back in a roundabout way. So his late game is going to cause you to sell almshouses and Altar of Lights and pivot into other things so that you have the faster production speed. Your Hall of Honor requires you to hang on to level 1 buildings. Honestly, for me, level 1 buildings I would hang on to are like barns and farms, not almshouses, because they give you gold, but this penalty is brutal. And their Tower of Blessings, it's okay. Like, when you're playing high level chaos, and the enemies have like crazy HP, this just isn't enough to move the needle. You're going to have to do a lot of fight clubs and geometries to push that damage. So he doesn't have a win condition. His win condition is like ramp your military and push for a win, or try to get an early win. But he's not fast enough to get an early win. You can mass paladins, but you're rarely going to get an early win with this guy. So I like this guy. I enjoy playing with him, but I'm going to put him high C tier, and it's because I have to pivot. I have to pivot really hard end game to get a win, or I just have to wait for geometry and fight clubs to win, or I have to rely on a lucky relic to win. But his kit on its own, it's okay, but it doesn't really win. So it's my 2 cents on that guy. And we're going to move on to Karkad, who, in my Let's Play, I did not like him. But I have since played with him multiple times, and I think Karkad is a solid low A tier. Low A tier. You're gambling, but it doesn't feel like you're gambling that hard. Okay, so his naval support is really not that bad. It consumes $500 and it blows up a bunch of stuff pretty reliably. This is a pretty reliable skill to have, and it will help push things back. It's not too strong, it's not too weak. It's kind of just enough. His trait, Refreshing the Shop, has a 1% chance to reveal legendary treasure. I used to not notice it, but I get these treasures all the freaking time. I get these all the time. The trait is good. You're going to refresh constantly anyway. His chart rooms are okay. I find that I don't really ever use them. You're just better off putting equipment on him that makes refreshes nothing. There's a couple of chaoses where refreshes are free, which makes him godlike. Sunken Treasure is good. $200 most of the time. You get good stuff. There is a relic that doubles this, so it's okay. Outlaw Hideout is garbage. Don't buy it. Just throw it in the garbage. Just ignore its existence. But that's not why he's good. Why he's good is because he has one of the best human units in the game, and that is Cannon. Cannon, not only... So the geometry buff affects cannons. They have a very long range, and they do area of effect damage, and they're armor piercing. And they get plus 20% production scale per minute after manually refreshing, but it resets after manually refreshing the shop. So what you do is you set your entire economy up to a point where you don't want to refresh the shop anymore. You're just build, selling. When you get these, you build, sell, and it pretty much pays for itself. And then you just make tons of foundry cannons. And you just cover the entire game with cannons. And they counter, there's no unit that counters 1,000 cannons. Cannons kill everything. So it has a very solid path to victory. I am confident that if the enemy HP was 600%, I could still win with by stacking cannons, as long as I didn't get overwhelmed in the beginning. I see that treasure often. I see it all the damn time. It's super good. It helps you scale super fast. So, big fan of Karkad. I like his placement in A. I think that these two are probably in the same spot. So, I'm okay with that. Our next hero, again, the first time I played Hrock, I hated him. But I understand him now, and he is pretty freaking good, especially with the relic that makes the Knight stables make 2 extra fighters. You basically don't build economy; you just rush the towers. You build raider camps and put swordsmen around raider camps and just run all day. His swordsmen, raiders, get 3 gold every time they whack a building. So as long as you know how to play him, he's really good. Unlimited requisition is okay. It's a lot to wrap your head around. You'll find yourself pausing the game a lot. That's the trick to this. It's use it, pause the game, and deal with the buildings. His meat sellers max you out pretty damn fast. Warband Hall is one of those things where you could just buy, drop, and sell. And Vault of Spoils is absolutely amazing for gold. You just get a row of those in the back, and your gold problems are taken care of. The weakness is the Raiders, but with the amount of money that you're making, you can find high tier units at the very end of the game, like all dragons, stuff like that, pretty easily, and just win with high tier human units. Or you just go mass warband. It's getting the only weakness he has is he can't upgrade the shop by himself. But if you play this right, you can knock those towers out pretty reliably and pretty quickly. So, with that being said, I'm going to put him high B tier. It requires a very specific build order for him to be good. His win condition is stomping, and it's not a guaranteed win condition. It really requires the player's skill to be high. I'll probably put him under Frank. So Frankula actually has a better win condition. So, but he's better than C tier. He's like bottom of B. And we'll see how we go. So that's humans, guys. That's humans. You're going to notice there's no S tier humans. That's how I feel. All right. So that's how I feel about that. All right. I'm going to be a little Forrest Gump about that. All right. Demons. These guys are so damn strong. I'm going to pretend that lemurs don't exist in order for many of these heroes, in order to properly categorize them. I will say that with any of these demon heroes, you could do. Let's go to the Codex. I hit play game. That was not my plan. Wow. With any of these heroes, you could do Madness Engine and Lemurs and win pretty quickly until you get to the higher Chaos tiers. That's an exploit, kinda. If you're actually going to play the game and actually try to play with the kit, that's going to be how I kind of figure this out, okay? So, talking about Vorthax. Vorthax is typically the first time you encounter your heroes. He's decent. So, Surge Ritual grants 20% HP to all your units on the battlefield. You're going to Surge Ritual a lot. His Dark Command immediately performs Surge Ritual, but increases marching time by 1 second permanently. This is hot garbage. Like, this screws you. The thing is, when you first learn how to play demons, you don't really realize how bad this screws you. So you really never want to use it. Marching time is how many seconds does it take before your buildings do their next thing. So permanently lowering production speed to use your commander skill is not good, unless you're trying to rush. In which case, go for it. His tier 1 chair is garbage for Vorthax. But if you roll this chair with other heroes, in which, like, if I got this chair by accident as any other hero, in which I can just keep bashing E, it's actually quite good. It's super good. So, but for this, it's not great. His Dark Knights kind of suck. They're basically human knights with a little bit more HP. And you can't make these faster. So, you know what I'm saying? I just don't like it. Throne of Tyranny. They want you to surge. I just don't. His kit doesn't really work. Because if this didn't have this drawback, then you could bash surge forever and win. This is okay. There's a stackable building. It's in the Codex. I'll show it to you. Gate of Omens. You could build a row of Gate of Omens. You can go gate, right? And they will, at the building that's way over at the very end, will be surged as many times as there are gates to the right. Okay? So what you could potentially do is you could put a throne of domination on the very end of all those and get 8 knights popping out every search. You could do the same thing to Throne of Tyranny and get 8 across the board. It's okay. Now, the win condition is strange. Essentially, what they want you to do is they want you to build this and then sacrifice tons of souls into it, which is going to take a long freaking time. And they want you to have a 0-second cooldown on Dart Command. And then it doesn't matter if Marching Time has 1 second more. Then you just have a bunch of things that surge, and you just keep hitting E over and over and over again, and you flood the field. And that's supposed to be your win condition. So he has a win condition. It's going to take you a long time to get these souls pumped through here. The fact that he has a win condition puts him in B tier. But, you know, it's like, it's a solid hero. It's not that fun. Some of the buildings are okay. So he is definitely a B tier hero. So we're going to go ahead and put him bottom of B. Oh, actually, I'll put him probably right around here. He is stronger than this guy, but as a demon, he's kind of like mid tier for a demon. So I'm trying to judge him accordingly. All right. He just takes a long time to get to his win condition. And if you could die before that happens, that's one of the other things. So he's not stalling the game while he's getting to the win condition. You have to play demons and hope you get to the win condition. Unless you're lemur rushing, in which case you're kind of not playing the game anyway. All right. Zerth. Zerth is freaking broken. He is the lemur god. He makes lemurs. Zerth, in my opinion, is top of A tier. He is A+, S-. He is so freaking strong. And it comes down to 2 buildings in particular. Soul Crystal, man. Soul Crystal and lemurs. You just get so many souls so damn fast. His win condition, destroy all your units, deals 100 damage to the core for every unit destroyed. This will happen extremely fast and extremely reliably. You can play against enemies with really, really high HP, and this is still good. So, in your mind's eye, go Soul Crystal, Soul Crystal, Soul Crystal, Furnace, and then a building that you want. Whatever unit you want. You will make tons of that unit. You don't just have to... This guy doesn't just make tons of lemurs. He makes tons of everything. He uses lemurs to make tons of everything else. So in the Codex, let's go back. Let's go on over her. Here's the Furnace. Siphons all buildings in the same row. So you go Soul Crystal, Soul Crystal, Soul Crystal, Furnace. The lemurs are dying in droves. The Furnace will get to 999. And then the building directly to the left of it can be whatever you want. You want 999 on frogs? You can get 999 on frogs. You want 999 on gladiators? You want 999 on whaling lairs? You want 999 on succubi or tyrants or lemurs? Something you could basically do that very, very easily with him. His ability is good too. Summons 5 fire imps, and you get lemurs in addition as your shop level increases. So it's a scalable skill. The cooldown sucks, but I mean, you're doing good stuff the entire time. And if you feel, and like even his well of Molten Vault, 100 gold to usually make 300 to 500 gold is a good unit. His weakest unit is not bad. It's the damn Gate of Chaos, and it's 30 for a random identical unit. It could be tyrants for 30, which isn't bad at all. So it's not. This is like the best random summoner of in the game in terms of like, well, without relics. With relics, Tavern's probably the best. But yeah, it's freaking good, man. It's freaking good. Zerth is A+, S- in my opinion. You can rush and win with him. Man, I'm going to put him bottom S tier. He's just so... He lets you play any demon you want very easily, and you're able to use lemurs to get that done without just cheesing with lemurs. So, solid. I feel like you can win in a very, very high chaos with him. I never lose with this guy. Like, it feels very easy. So definitely like him. He loses in some chaos. Some of these chaos matches counter him directly. Like if you can't have more than 500 units on the field, or all units die in 30 seconds, or all units have like 1 HP, things like that, he can't really win. You know what? A+. A+. Because there are other heroes that can deal with those stupid things, and those guys are better. So I'm going to go there with that guy. And now we're going to go to Syndrel. All right. We're just going to slide this right up her. Syndrel is the very first S tier hero. She charms enemy units. There is not a single chaos that I have run into that Syndrel hasn't been able to deal with. Her soul domination is really freaking good. It charms 50% of the time, which is okay. And her trait just is going it charms random units every time you fire a sacrifice ritual. That is insane. And this will sustain you in the early game while you ramp into whatever you want. Theater of Chaos is broken. You can pump hundreds and hundreds of souls into this thing, and you'll be charming random units all the time. There's even a build around Charm Failure, which just makes your skill cooldown. You can eventually basically put yourself in a position where you're maxing your cooldown down. So it's interesting. I don't really like this one. This is our win condition. Whispering Statue. Charm Failure chance -5%. You eventually get your Charm Fail chance to 0. Then you just do a bunch of Theater of Chaoses and skills, and you just charm every single unit the enemy makes. Yeah, you win. You can pretty much win almost every situation with Syndrel. She is really, really good. And that's what I have to say about that. I mean, even her Pit of Despair is useless later on, but early on it's okay. It's okay. It's not the best, not the worst. Yeah, that's what I have to say, man. Super good. Don't dive bomb your marching time. You want to keep your marching time as high as you possibly can with her, so that you're constantly doing the sacrifice rituals. So super, super into this hero. Hero is super strong. She's not like rush and win strong. Her toolkit pretty much beats all of the whims. And because of that, when you get to the higher chaos, they'll start stacking multiple whims on you. And that's going to be, again, she will be able to overcome those whims. Chompy. Man, I really want to like this hero. Chompy is the second worst demon. Probably here. So, demons are good in general. Okay? But if you're trying to win with Chompy using his kit, he just doesn't do enough damage to warrant all of the souls that it costs to make him good. You have to basically siphon a lot of souls into Grand Feast to get his attack high enough to be somewhat good. You have to work really hard and you have to survive despite Chompy, kind of, to get to this point. So what Chompy kind of does is he doesn't kill fast enough, but he won't die. And that means that the enemy you're playing against, they make a death ball of enemy army. They'll just keep hitting Chompy over and over and over again, and they're amassing and they're amassing and they're amassing and they're amassing, and then Chompy dies, and now that big ball of units is coming towards you. And that's just going to keep happening over and over again. So instead of having like a stalemate situation, you sort of always end up in this weird position, especially in higher chaos levels, where when Chompy dies, the whole damn game falls apart. You could just win despite Chompy, but if you're trying, instead of having a row dedicated to a good unit, if you put money into Grand Feast and Snap Jar, now you're not like building other things. And so his payoff is area damage. it's just not good enough payoff. I've played Chompy about, I think, 9 times. I gave him 9 different shots at being good, and it takes like 40 minutes to an hour to win with him, especially in higher chaos. So you can win. It's a slog. It is a slog. I'm gonna put him right here in C tier. He is. Do I put him in D, dude? No, there are detail heroes. We're not doing that to Chompy. Okay. Next hero, the 6-eared macaque. He is interesting. He's essentially like what the game is trying to get you to do is maintain a small group of very elite units that you allow to almost die, and then you return them to the game with Peachtree. And you do it over and over and over again. It fails because the surge doesn't happen often enough. It takes like 20 seconds, I think. 10 seconds to surge, 10 seconds for sacrifice, right? So it takes too long to surge. So your heroes aren't always being saved. Or your units, aren't always being saved. He's okay. I find I've never won because of these. I always win because demons are good. His Demon King's Lair makes mimics. Mimics are supposed to copy the other good units. I just feel like it takes a tremendous amount of luck to snowball the units to make this work. In the like 5% of the time where it does work, it works well, but the units will eventually die. We don't have any healers with demons, so there's no way to heal to kind of like make that happen. There are relics that I think might offer some healing, but it is what it is. And then this tier 5 building, in my experience, and I could be wrong about this, it's essentially your win condition is that you're doing a bunch of AoE damage to the enemy while you have small elite units that have been juiced up that are going to go walk and fight the core. I am unable to execute it, and I've tried a lot to execute it. So it's a very difficult puzzle that requires a lot of things to go right. And for that reason, I'm going to put him low C tier. And maybe if there is a person out there that has dominated with this hero, and you disagree with me, the way that you convince me is by commenting with a gameplay video of you dominating with that hero. If you say, "Oh, I've won," pics or it didn't happen, or video or it didn't happen, I'll probably put him above Perlin, but Perlin's a much more straightforward. This is just confusing. So for that reason, that's my decision on that. Now we're going to get to my man, Malik. I don't like destroying my buildings. Randomly destroys 5 of your buildings. You get +5 plots. Your bottom row is safe. He has Barren Rock, which is a decent surge building. It's very expensive for what you get for the fact that it's going to blow up. Skull Totem destroys the building to the left and grants twice as much souls stored in it. Howling Lair gives Minotaurs. Minotaurs are really good. They do not hit air. And there's a lot of air units out there. And then when you surge, your payoff is a tier 4 building that grants pens, and pens suck. What is a pen, do you ask? A pen is this. Surge 10 gold, 5 souls. And so you're just making these crappy buildings so that you can blow more buildings up to then get benefits. But the benefits are Minotaurs plus 50 souls when a building is destroyed. I guess the idea is you destroy as many buildings as possible to make a bunch of Minotaurs. But the Minotaurs don't hit air. Like, that's the problem. If Minotaurs hit air, then this would work. But I can't hit air and I can't have buildings, so it doesn't work at all. I've had comments that say they love this guy, they were able to make it work. Maybe if the Minotaur was batterying another building that made air units, that could possibly work. For me, guys, I played him 9 times. I wasn't having fun the entire time. It was frustrating. D tier for me. I just don't like him. There has to be a D tier, and he's my first victim. I will never choose to play that guy. That was a one and done for me. I'm sure there are some people that can play him and that enjoy the chaos of all that, but not while being attacked. Not while also only rolling random buildings. So, for me, that is a no thank you. Clown, on the other hand, Chaos, A tier. I put him. He's not as strong here as reliably strong as this guy, but he is pretty damn good. One of the strongest skills in the game: duplicate a building. The only problem with this is the cooldown is garbage. His trait, Surge Ritual, grants 50 for each row with at least 4 identical buildings. He just makes you money. Out of the gate, you're going to have 4 lemur buildings in the same row. So that's guaranteed $50. Those rows pay for Surprise Box. Surprise Box is random done right. It actually is really good. When I first played Clown, I didn't really like Surprise Box. The more I play Clown, the more I'm like, I get good stuff a lot of the times, man. I get tier 5 buildings while I have a tier 1. I get magic hats. I get circus. I get tyrants. I get good stuff. You know what also sometimes happens with Surprise Box? You get soul crystals. Soul crystal will pop out of that thing sometimes. You're like, okay, the best damn demon building in the game, for tier 1, and you might just accidentally get it. So, really good. Game stall's kind of a bittersweet thing. You get one for free. It's okay. I mean, there are a lot of buildings that make around 30 souls reliably, 45 souls reliably. It's an okay. I'm not mad at it. It's 600 gold, which is really expensive. You get one for free at the beginning. Circus is broken. A ranged unit that duplicates itself every 30 seconds. This snowballs extremely fast. Our win condition is tons of magic hats that turn enemies into rabbits. You get 2 rows stuffed with magic hats. You pretty much just pull the air out of the tires. And this works no matter how good the HP is. So this is a hero that can really go far into chaos. The only thing holding this back from being S tier is that it's a random hero. And you will whiff, and you will whiff often, and sometimes you will whiff the entire game and have to restart. But he is extremely good. This entire kit is quite solid. It will always, even if you're whiffing with Clown, it's still fun. And his trait makes it so that the whiffs don't feel so bad. Because you're getting gold back for a couple of your identical rows. So, feels good, man. Feels good. Going into the next one, we were talking to Ephorus. Killing your own units to make other units that you can't kill is a little rough. I'm just going to tell you that I kind of see him probably here. Yeah, I think probably here. Looks like bottom of B tier. So, like, this guy, Harak, he can make units and reliably do good things really quick. Forrest, so his kit, Lava Wave, you kill everybody. It's a board wipe. It's really strong, but it's a very high seconds. That board wipe will save you if you're about to die. So he's almost immortal. Like, he can't lose, but winning is a pain in the ass with him. He has a building called Molten Rune, which basically summons a little mini wave at a random location. And it's one of... It could be your unit, it could be the enemy unit. So you're burning your own units, you're burning your own enemy units. If you never use Heart of Balrog, you can eventually give your units an infinity armor, and then you could use lava pools to turn off armor piercing from your enemies, and you could eventually snowball your military. It does work. It just takes a long freaking time. And the whole time that you're doing this, you're killing your own units a lot. So you're forcing a never-ending stalemate. You never feel like you're getting any further. You never feel like you're getting, you're unable to snowball, especially against enemies with really high HP. So that's the weird thing. Heart of Balrog, you get Ash whenever you kill an enemy, or any unit, I believe. Heart of Balrog consumes 100 Ash to summon a Balrog. Balrogs are okay ranged units that don't die to lava. So you eventually just start to eat your own Ash in order to make a bunch of these guys, and you'll eventually win. It takes so long for this to happen. It is slow. So demons, every single demon, except for Chompy, is quite fast. Even this crappy guy. They're pretty fast at what they do. This guy is the slowest. He slows demons down. And it's just, for me, it's not like the fun is missing. Is he an A or S tier hero? Probably. He could be S tier because you can't lose. But for me, I don't find him fun, so I never really pick him. That's it. Slowing the game down for me is just not fun. So I'm going to leave it at that. And now we're going to go to Glutiak, if that's how you say it. I kind of have the same problem here. My win condition is making lots of dragons, which sounds cooler than it is. Consumes 500 gold to grant a target building 500 souls is very strong. It's not nearly as strong as Soul Crystal or other things that you could do. Buildings have a default soul limit of 2,000 is also strong. So this Ember Remnant, if used correctly, is really, really good. But you build it, you wait 4 or 5 surges, and you sell it, essentially. Unless you pump more soul. No, the max souls go to 0. So you have to eventually sell it. Soul Treasure's okay. Get 30 gold for every building with maximum souls. About time you have buildings with maximum souls, you don't need this. Because your economy is already... Like, the Forge is already doing decent economy. You really don't need it. And the Vaults are also already good economy. I don't know. I don't even know why you would need this. Maybe to pump more into this. But you have a 90-second cooldown, so... Like, if this cooldown was 1, then this would make way more sense. Ancient Statue is okay. So I put Ancient Statue on the dragon. I gave the dragon egg, like, 9999 capacity. I pumped it full of souls to make a million dragons. It took for fucking ever to do that. It took way too long. It's strong. It's kind of. I wish it wasn't as boring. It's slightly less boring than this guy. Some people might like this guy. He's not a weak hero. Getting to his win condition takes a very long time. And so, again, demons are fast, but these guys, their kits kind of intentionally slow demons down. And it's like when you slow them down, you end up. It's like, why? Why would you slow it down to do that? So, again, I only played with him maybe 4 times, so I could be wrong about him, but I put him in B tier. And I have more heroes to go. Vral McNeck. Okay? This guy is freaking broken. This guy is S tier. Like, this guy is very S tier. What you're not seeing, and I'm going to have to hit start on the game to show you what you're not seeing. So you lose the game if any of your buildings are destroyed. This is telling you that you have to, like, his entire kit is telling you you need to rush. Lose an ability in exchange for a bonus. The effect changes after each use. So, what makes him good is you can essentially... I'll show you what makes him good. Alright? So, you see this right here? If I use this ability, what will happen is I won't be able to see what my marching progress is, but my units will gain armor piercing. So I can make an infinite number of these madness engines. I'll just make all the madness engines. And then I'll make tons of lemur dens. And what I'm doing every time I sell one of these madness engines, I'm going to increase my marching time. And that's usually bad. That's usually a thing that you do not want to have happen. However, let me hit play real quick. So imagine I've made a bajillion lemurs, okay? The first thing I could do is I could press E, and now I'm going to make it so that my guys all have, I think it was more HP, so that I have more armor. So let me give all my guys more armor, but I won't be able to see the number of souls on the buildings. Who cares? Now I can't refresh the shop, but all my guys have plus 50 attack permanently. Now I can no longer upgrade the shop, but marching time becomes 15 seconds again. Okay, now I can't move buildings, but my units have 100% HP permanently. And now I can no longer use commander skills, but Siphon gains 50% more souls. Okay, so why that's good is I can essentially go and make any tier kit I want. So I can go Madness Engine until I have 6,000, 7,000, maybe 20,000 golds. Then I can basically make whatever kit I want. I can upgrade all the way to 5 if I want. I can make whatever configuration of heroes I want. And then I can just bash E a bunch of times and reset my marching time to 15 seconds. And buff all of my units. And win the game. And I could do that I could do that while the game is paused. And I could do that every single time I play. And I can basically, the only time I have to hit resume is when I'm waiting for upgrades. And that's it. I mean, you can pretty much set yourself up for an infinite economy and go. Most of the time, you can just go lemurs and fire imps, juice them up, and let them win the game for you. Eventually, it's not going to work. Eventually, the chaos will make the HP so high that you'll have to go to at least tier 2 and go get a bunch of tier 2 units and pause the game before you sell all your madnesses, right? But he's broken. He's so damn strong. He's probably the strongest guy in the game. It's a guaranteed win. If you're ever in a situation where you're like, there's maybe one or two situations where that he doesn't win. And it's only like very specific chaoses where you can pivot to Sydney. So, super strong, broken. His kit this is all bad on purpose. Because you're not supposed to do it. You're not supposed to play normally with him. You're supposed to play the wrong way with him. So, that's that. Alright, with that being said, we've done all the demons. It is time for me to talk shit about dwarves. Yes, sir. Let's go. Mira has a solid and highly consistent win condition. So all these dwarves except 2 have the same problem, which is you have to deal with a parts capacity economy. So before you can play any of the dwarves except for Claire, you basically need to invest 10 to 15 minutes creating a runaway parts economy before you can really play the game. So that's like gonna give every dwarf in my mind -1 tier. So if it would have been an S tier, I'm gonna put it in A tier. If it would have been an A tier, I'm gonna put it in B tier. If it would have been C tier, I'm gonna put them in D tier. Because that 10 to 15 minute investment of time is a pain in the ass, and the stronger these enemies get, the harder that's gonna be to accomplish. So Mira, for that reason, Mira is A tier. I feel like she could be an S tier. I'll put her right here. She could be an S tier if it wasn't for the fact that I have to have a runaway parts economy to make her work. I have to survive while building a runaway parts economy. Once I have that, I basically can win by building 1 million turrets and juicing the turrets up. The turrets are very strong. Her trait is not that good. You get 3 turrets at a target whenever you blow up a tower. It's like, who cares? I could just make turrets for 200 parts. These are good. The fact that I have to keep these overloaded to get the bonus to newly deployed turrets kind of sucks. They do take a lot of parts to make happen. So one of these, it creates turrets HP. One of these gives them higher attack. One of these gives... This is the best one. Giving turrets higher attack range. This is what makes you win. Because eventually the turrets can shoot halfway across the damn field. This and power full core are the 2 things that are important. And then 2 repair cores, 1 turned on and 1 turned off. To give all the turrets 10 armor. It's pretty much win at that point. So she has a path to victory. She's strong. She is your way. Mira is great at letting players learn how to play dwarves. So I'll take that. Barnabas is funny. You win by denying the enemy the ability to make units. But you have to survive to get there. He's a 30-minute to 40-minute game, sort of minimum victory. His rewind sucks. I can't think of a single time where I would ever want to go backwards on my parts capacity. I guess if I spend a bunch of parts really quick, but there's really never a situation where that's going to happen with this character. Other characters, I can see that happen for me and my playstyle. Warp generator is very strong. Accelerator field is very strong. Slow field is very strong. Phone booth is funny. It's weird that he has a gambling engine. His trait is really bad. He's an A tier. He's like, basically, I put him in the same place as Mira. You can win in the same duration. His victory is funny because you turn on. Maybe he's a little bit better than her. No, they're about. She is more straightforward. He requires a bunch of thinking. But I have a video where I won with Barnabas. If you want to see how to win with him, it's essentially 4 warp generators, or 3 warp generators and 4 slow fields in the same column, and then you just turn off the enemy's ability to indefinitely delay the next wave. So they basically have no military, and then you just go and win. It takes you a minute to get there. You gotta get to tier 5. You have to stay alive the whole time. You have to work around all the whims. He doesn't really require any relics to be good. He's good without relics. Mira is good without relics. So, like, they're both good without relics. So you could just win, essentially. Master Voss. Master Voss makes units with barriers. You can make barrier last longer with Mind Disc. He makes a spirit barrier. I've played with him. Melee units are all ranged, which is interesting. Meditation pool is interesting. You're like just ramping up. And the Spirit Academy is okay. It doesn't. When you're in higher chaos fields, you're not doing a lot of extra damage. You could sort of get there, but this doesn't stack. This is like it gives the units that are alive 1 attack, but it doesn't stack. It's not like geometry or other buildings that stack extra attack. It's only for those units that are alive. So it forces you to use Spirit Barrier, but you don't get it enough for it to really work. So if he, and you also have to build a runaway parts economy. So he would be A tier, but I'm going to put him B tier, probably above Dragon, below Hork, or Rock, or how you say his name. That's where he's at for me. Okay? Claire. Just gonna put this rot her. Claire is your S tier dwarf. Hack is amazing. You hack towers and they stop working and they attack your enemies for you. You can overdraw to buy buildings, which is okay. I'll take it. AI component is so good. It's a smart building that determines what you need in that moment, whether it's gold, capacity, or parts. It's not, I wouldn't just rely solely on AI components, but I'll take 4. I'll take the 2 they give you in the beginning, maybe make a few more. ID crawler, you can, if you went all Marines, like this is a Marine helmet, and this is a Marine buffing armor, and I think I have a Marine buffing, I don't, not yet, I will soon. You can go Marines, and only Marines. ID crawler swaps the attributes of the enemy unit with the highest HP with the enemy unit with your enemy with the lowest HP. You can just make your Marines 200 health, 300 health, 90 health, whatever, and higher attack. And the longer the game plays, the stronger your Marines will get because they will be sending enemies at you. If they send an airship at you, this will swap the airship's HP with your 12 HP Marine with them. Now your Marine is huge. It's just really good. You can't just straight win with this. You still need to make you still need to make your own endgame units, but you can keep your Marines the whole game. It's just freaking good. I played with her a couple times. I could win in most swims with her. She's so strong. What also makes her strong is because of the ID crawlers and because you can pretty much win with Marines and metaverse generators, you don't need to invest 10 to 15 minutes to make a runaway parts economy. You don't need thousands of parts to win. You can have a very chill part economy production system, make some ID crawler. You just need enough to make ID crawlers. Tier 4 building, DDoS Disruptor. I've never used it. I don't need to use it because I have Metaverse Generator. Make 7 of these and win. You could be losing, get yourself to tier 5, roll, make 7 of these and win the game. This Metaverse Generator is off the chain good. She has a good kit. Her skill is good. She's the only dwarf that you really don't have to worry about economy. S tier all damn day. S tier all damn day. And I wish I could say that for other dwarves, but I can't. Reginald is freaking garbage. His turrets are really bad, and they take a lot of parts to work. This is their tribute to Plants vs. Zombies. So basically what happens is, I don't even want to talk about this guy. He makes me so frustrated. He could be so good. He just doesn't do enough damage. I am actually going to probably put him in D tier. Like this. Play with him yourself. You'll see what I'm talking about. So first of all, in order to do anything, I have to invest in a runaway parts economy. So if he was a C tier, I'm docking him because I have to spend 10 to 15 minutes before I can even start to play with him. Then I have this extremely useless waste of time building that does 2 damage a second in a straight line and often misses. And I'm going to see this building all the time as I refresh for days. His deploy decoy is not that good. I know what they're trying to do. They're trying to get you to mass up so that your missile turrets and your laser turrets hit the enemy, but they don't do enough damage to matter. So you get random part supply packs that only give you 100 parts that float down like the sun from Plants vs. Zombie. It needs to be a lot more than 100 parts. It needs to be a percentage of your capacity to matter. Because it only matters in the first, 5 minutes of the game. Then you'll never click them again, because 100 parts is nothing once you have a runaway economy. Missile turret doesn't do enough damage. Laser turret doesn't do enough damage. Analysis center, you have to get all the way to tier 5 to make these guys sort of do more damage. So this gives this an extra 8 damage, I think. It's just not good. It's just not good. It looks cool. You're like, your army is marching, and there's missiles flying, and there's lasers going across the screen, and it's all crazy, but at the end of the day, none of that shit is really doing a lot of damage, and if I just invested all the same money I put in all this crap into a bunch of air units, like tier 5 air units, I would be much better off most of the time. That's my 2 cents. I don't like them. Bleh. Alright, Alistair. Alistair is A tier, man. Freaking A tier. Probably right here. He feels super snug. I would never be upset. If I had a wheel and I spun the wheel and it made me play the commander that it picked randomly and I got Alistair, I'm not mad at Alistair. Consume 200 parts to give a permanent buff to a random dinosaur. That's how it works. You make dinosaurs, you then buff dinosaurs. Minus 1% skill cost for every 10 units you have in the field. It's just good. His entire kit is good. He's extremely fun. Make a runaway parts economy for 10 minutes. He would be S tier, by the way. Make a runaway parts economy for 10 minutes. Then bash E. Make a bunch of dinosaurs. Make the dinosaurs insanely strong and go run the game over. You can win consistently in about 25 minutes. It doesn't matter how high the HP is. Your dinosaurs will do all the dinosaur things that you want it to do. And if you like dinosaurs, this is a cool theme. For these guys, for him, I don't really worry about putting legendary equipment on him. I just give him purple equipment that really helps with refreshes and starting golds. So my kit for him gives him a bunch of starting gold and refresh discounts. So, love him. Super good. Marcus, you are a disappointment to your mother and I. That is what I have to say about Marcus. Marcus is a random themed hero / commander. Just stay there. Just hang out here for a minute. 180-second cooldown for a circle that does one of 7 different things, of which 4 things are good, 3 things are not good. Chemical Lab can bankrupt you. It costs 40 gold to maybe make between 1 and 200 of of gold parts or capacity. Chemical Lab I have played Marcus 7 times, and 6 out of 7 times, Chemical Lab bankrupted either my parts economy by accident or my gold by accident. You cannot rely on this building. I would rather have anything else. I pretty much sell these and never use these. This is his tier 2 building, Regent Storage. It takes up a plot for you to have a plus 20% blast size for a skill that has a very high cooldown and might whiff. Biology Lab, 50 parts, dude. That is expensive as shit without a runaway, a big time. You can't really build this until you're 15 minutes into the game. 15 minutes into the game, everything has gone right. You haven't died yet, and you've made a insane number of tax offices and salvage heaps to get your parts to 5,000, 6,000, 7,000, and now you're making biology labs, which gives you a random unit with either 1 to 100 to 200 HP. So you can have a 200 HP duck and a 1 HP airship. It's just like, it's inconsistent. It's super bad. I've played a game. I didn't upload it. It took me 2 hours to win. It took me 1 hour and 40 minutes to win. For a lot of reasons. And it wasn't because of Biology Lab. It was because of Refinery. I was trying to demo the hero. Refinery gives you a random relic upon purchase. There are relics that will screw you. Let's talk about the relics that will screw you. Let's see. There is the one that dumps your parts. Which one is that? There is one where it basically you delete all your parts. All your parts go to 0, and you get gold for however many parts you get. It's in here somewhere. Don't you worry. We will find it. This one. Fake liquor. Lose all parts and grants equal amount of gold and parts capacity. This can happen. So you have all your tax offices and and everything is going really good. You have lots of parts economy. You build the refinery and whiff. You get that damn thing. You bankrupt your parts economy, and now you're floundering trying to find supply depots, and you're pausing a bunch of military so you can reestablish yourself. That has happened. That can happen. And there are other relics that you do not want. This is not good. Like, this is not good. Just like this is not good. You do not want a random relic. Ever. You never want a random relic. It could make you lose. You're playing. These games take 30 to 40 minutes to play. You do not want a random relic. Ever. Never one time am I like, yes, I want that. No. No sirree, Bob. Yeah, so let's go back to dwarfs. Where was that? Oh, yeah. So biology labs, it's like I would rather consistently spend 50 parts on a consistently good unit than 50 parts on a random unit that could be good, but more times than not, it's bad. Like, even if it gives you a Marine with 150 HP, I still don't want that. I don't want it. So, everything is trash. This guy's trash. He's C tier at best, but because I have to work hard to make him a C tier, he's D tier. And he's bottom of D tier. So, get out of here, Marcus. You suck. If I was the game developer, and if you want to make a random themed hero, do a casino. Make Marcus the casino owner. And these could be slot machines. And make it so when you get guaranteed unit, but it's not at this tremendous cost of parts. It's 5 parts, and it makes 3 random units. And they could have health between 1 and 50. And it's like, you know what I mean? Like, you don't get random relics, but maybe you get, I don't know. There's ways to make this guy not suck. Make his experiments. I wish this weapon just always did Poison Cloud. Because Poison Cloud is good. But I never see Poison Cloud. I always get Freeze or Whiff or whatever. Anyway, I'm done talking about him. I played him 7 times. And all 7 were not fun. Next hero, 6W, 4LF. He is not bad. Energy saving mode, all buildings process costs minus 10%. His research module, there's 3 different modes. You can switch between 3 different modes. You can switch from Annihilation, Energy, and Construction mode. Energy saving mode is so good. Parts for parts, gold for gold. You can bankrupt yourself. You can never allow if you're only relying on these, you can never let yourself go to 0 gold, or you just won't produce any more golds. You can never let yourself go to 0 parts, or you just won't make any more parts. These are not bad, though. You can make a bunch of these and just carefully monitor your gold. And you put a couple retail stores above these, and you lower their costs, and they just become better. Not bad. War Module makes an Ascendant, which is basically a better than a Marine. It's a great, balanced Tier 3 hero. You switch to Annihilation mode, it turns a Tier 3 hero into a Tier 4 hero. Specialty Chip juices up the green numbers here. I find that even if I had 20 specialty chips, it doesn't help Annihilation mode so much. I don't know. It's not strong. You know what it is? He's a balanced, well-designed hero. He doesn't break the game. And so I'm going to give him bonus points. I'm going to make him a B tier. And I'll put him right here. And I think that's an appropriate place for him. He could be an A tier if I didn't have to spend 15 minutes getting his economy going. His economy is easier to get going because he has economy buildings that help. But I think I'm okay with this. So that's where I'm going. Next hero, Orson. Oh my god, I want to like Orson, but I can't like Orson. Orson is a trap. He is a trap, and you're going to lose with Orson a couple of times until you figure him out. He has, I would say, there are 2 or 3 heroes that have the best skill in the game, and he's in that list. Red Hot makes a select building process 20 times. So if you have a building that makes airships, you can make 20 airships. And actually, you can make 60 airships in 9 seconds. As long as you can afford the parts. Because those airships still cost 100 parts each. So you can spend 6,000 parts quickly. So Red Hot is very strong, but it can, you can accidentally bankrupt yourself with it. Or 2, every building has a 1% chance to blow up whenever they process anything. So if you've played this game, you know that dwarves are kind of hard to set up. It takes about 10 to 15 minutes to set up their economy. With Orson, it takes about 20 minutes to set up his economy. Because your damn buildings are blowing up constantly. His mining machine, 20 parts for 70 gold, really good. It blows up all the time. And so the rest of your economy buildings are going to be blowing up. So you're going to be replacing buildings. You get the gold back. But what it does is it takes up lots of mental real estate to constantly have to replace buildings that have blown up. And you're going to be hitting refresh a lot. So even though you're getting your money gold back, you're spending gold bashing the refresh button a lot. So you're losing the gold. Demolition Arsenal. It makes a truck that doesn't attack, but instead it makes mines. The problem with Demolition Arsenal is it costs 100 parts. So you might be so excited to be like, I'm going to use Red Hot on Demolition Arsenal. Well, that's 2,000 parts. And you might do it again and again. That's 6,000 parts. If you don't have an insane amount of parts, you can bankrupt your part economy. If you're doing it with tax offices. So you're going to be playing the game. Things are going to be blowing up. You're going to be careful not to bankrupt yourself, either with gold or whatever. You're never going to use high fit energy battery ever, because it just increases your capacity, overload capacity. There are other ways to make overload capacity. You don't need this. And what you get in return is stuff has a higher chance to blow up. You're going to work yourself all the way up to cooling pump. Cooling pump makes the building above it not blow up. so that you can use red hot, but you can only use red hot if you can afford to within your parts. He's crazy, he's funny, I'm laughing, I'm crying at the same time while playing him. He's stressful, he makes me burn out of the game faster. If I wanted to play like 4 games in a row, and Orson was one of them, I might only play 2 games. He is strong. He's C tier. I probably put him here. He has such a strong ability, but the things you have to go through to get there. Some people who have the mental capacity would probably see him up here. I don't. It's too much of a pain in the ass for shit to blow up constantly for me to even. I've recorded a couple of videos. I don't think my Orson videos ever made it online. So, because I just get so frustrated with this guy. Anyway, that's my Orson. And now I'm down to my last hero. Excuse me, Commander. I use that interchangeably. Excuse me there. Joey. Joey's playing a very different game than everybody else is playing. Everybody else is playing There Are No Orcs. Joey is playing how many parts can I make the game? And by the way, I win in 30 minutes no matter what. He's playing a very different game, and he serves a very different purpose. Joey can make between 18 and 24 parts per game. That means fragments per game. He's here for your end game. He's not here to win. If you just want to win, you can win with him. Just survive for 30 minutes. You get an instant win. But if you're trying to look for easy wins, you're better off just playing this guy because you'll get them. If you're here for farming, he is an S tier farmer, but he's not better. He's not a good commander. He just happens to be good at farming. So I don't know if there was an NA, like a not applicable, I'd put him there. He's S tier for what he does. He's S tier for what he does. But he's also D tier. I don't know, man. I'll put him in S tier. He has a guaranteed win in 30 minutes. He's not like, I can't put him there. Because someone is not going to watch the video and they're going to go, that's not how you play that. Hold on a sec, guys. There you go. He is not applicable. He is playing a different game. He's not here to play Orcs. He's here to do his own damn thing. I'm not gonna tier list him. I have a video on my channel that tells you how to get a ton of forge fragments with him and which chaos specifically to play, and that's what you're supposed to do with him. You're not supposed to play the game with him. You're supposed to farm with him. And that's it, guys. This is my tier list. If you guys disagree, put it in the comments. Tell me why. I'm gonna be playing this game for a while. I'm gonna try to push to the highest chaos I possibly can. I'll make more content there. If you disagree with me about a hero, make a video, attach it to the comments, put it to YouTube. Show me that Chompy is good, because I don't think so. Show me that Marcus is good. Show me that this freaking guy is good. Like, show me. Don't just say they're good. Let me see it. And that's the best way I can be convinced. Unless you don't care about that, in which case, just call me a freaking noob, and that's fine. All right, guys. Thanks for watching. Hope you enjoyed it. Hope this was moderately entertaining. I love playing indie games, and I'll be playing more indie games in the future. And the way I do it is I pick a game for under $10. I buy it, I play the hell out of it, I make a bunch of content, and then I move on to the next one. So, Orcs so far was $7. I've gotten 150 hours of fun out of it. I think that's a really good return for my investment. This is a fantastic game. Big props to the developers. They really did something special with this one. And thanks for watching. I'll see you guys next time.